Hi, everybody. We are live here. It is June 3rd, 2019, and welcome to our fourth week of live for our Diets Are Fattening message. For you guys who know me, bear with me while I introduce myself to anybody new. My name is Meg Moranis. I'm the voice behind Diets Are Fattening. My mission, my passion is to help you stop dieting and understand that dieting actually is not making you thin. It's making you a dieter, and most likely a dieter who continues to gain weight over the years, not lose, as of course you intended when you went on your very first diet, which for me was at age 14. I dieted from 14 to 40, and now it has been about 19 years since I said no more dieting. It doesn't work. It's making me obsessed, and it's making me actually not able to keep weight off and start my healthy thin mentality. I had someone I could copy in my life. I'm trying to be that person for you. You can read all about my story in this book, which is available at dietsarefattening.com. And what we use today, we have a workbook, and this online video presentation on YouTube is completely free. I'm just telling you what resources we use, and you're welcome to get them or not get them. It's up to you. So again, welcome to all you guys, and I will always tell you the truth. I will not sugarcoat anything, and as evidence to that, we have two private groups, one dietsarefattening.com on Facebook, one Diets Are Fattening Workbook. And then we have a regular page, Diets Are Fattening. So find us there. Those groups are just easy to join. Just request, and you're in. And that just way you can have private conversations with each other. And that's been really helpful. And I think the people on that page would attest to that as well. I don't edit anything out. If someone's struggling, I leave it all out there because I want you to know. I want you to know the complete picture. But I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart that you can absolutely do this. If I could do this and make a transition from a dieter to a healthy thin mentality person and happily and easily and joyfully maintain that for, it doesn't, no, okay, it's been 19 years, but I don't even count it because it's just life now. It's not like a countdown. It's not like, oh, I've made it through another year. No, this is life. This is life with a healthy thin mentality, which we were born with, and again, it's just lack of understanding of what dieting actually does to you. And lifestyle is another word for diet. No rules here. No rules, just one respect that you must follow. So it's not a rule, it's a respect. And the respect is respecting your hunger, respecting the lack of hunger. It's all about using hunger as your guide. And if you feel yourself pulling back from like, oh, I'm gonna have to be hungry, no, you just have to match eating with hunger. And it is harmonious. It works with your biology. I know I say this every week, but in case someone's new, I want you to hear this. When you work with your body instead of constantly fighting it like you do on a diet, everything changes. And all of a sudden you're like, well, yeah, I can live like this the rest of my life. No problem, because you know what? This is really nice. I get to eat whenever I'm hungry, whatever I'm craving. And I'm not going to go into a big nutrition thing today because we've got other questions to answer. But your body will crave nutritious food. That is normal. That is reasonable. Think about how animals work. They crave the food that their body needs, and so will you. I know you may not believe that, and I didn't believe that either, but you will. And then as we go through this, think how reasonable that is. Nothing I say is weird. It's all very common sense, very reasonable. You will crave nutritious food. You will also crave some sweets, and it'll be fine. Okay? So we have 6 questions that were posted in our, I think these were, maybe one was on the YouTube page, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to tell you what they are real quick. Hitting a plateau, accountability and tracking, because you're fearful of trusting your cravings, nighttime eating after you review what you ate in a day, getting freaked out when hunger doesn't come, stressing out over processed food, and will you lose weight if you match eating with hunger, or will you just stay the same weight? Okay, 6 really good questions. And feel free to either post them here or on our private Facebook group, and I'll be able to get to them, all right? So I want to answer all of these, and then we're going to do a little bit from our workbook. Again, we are going through this slowly. If you want to go through and do a week at a time, that's all in our Diets Are Fattening workbook group. You can go back and search that, and you will find that we did all 12, it's really 13 weeks because there's an intro week of this workbook. We started, I think, in December and finished in March. So if you want to do that, we get a time, do that, and then also come here, because it is the first 12 weeks of your healthy thin mentality, But it takes longer, guys, I'm not gonna lie, to establish this. This is just getting you acquainted with it and getting you in a rhythm. And that's the most important part. Because once you feel the rhythm of hunger and riding the wave of hunger and realizing that whenever you are hungry, it's a good thing because you joyfully anticipate eating, not eating. Like when you're a dieter and it's 4 p.m. and you're like, oh, I can't eat till 6 and I'm so hungry. That's so miserable. How many thousands of times did I do that? I don't know. And then you end up eating so much at night because you held back all day. Those stupid things like that. We'll talk about all of them over these weeks, months, whatever. I'm here to stay because I'm going to help you. So let's go to the questions. The first one that we want to address is hitting a plateau. So when you're a dieter, you think like that, well, I'm hitting a plateau, and how do you break that plateau? I remember I worked at Nutrisystem, and if someone was hitting a plateau, we had no idea what to do, guys. And again, I was very young, and I stayed there a year. I always want to say this because I feel bad. I even worked there. But we would say things, well, just tell them to drink a bunch of water. It was all bull. We didn't know. But that's what our managers and told me. I wasn't a nurse. We had a couple nurses on staff there. So we just say, oh, well, drink water. That's the answer. No, it wasn't. It was ridiculous. It was because their metabolisms were shutting down due to lack of food. But okay, so I know we all think about plateaus. When you're working on your healthy thin mentality, your mindset is not, am I losing weight this week? Although that happens, your mindset is, how well am I connecting eating with hunger? That is where your progress is measured. How many times this week did I have hunger, crave a specific thing, and then supply that specific thing or something reasonable, and it was delicious, and I moved on with my day? How many times did I do that? And the first week, how many times? 10? 5? 20? Because, you eat a lot every week. Think how many times you eat every week. That's where your progress is. Focusing on a scale as a measurement is a recipe for sadness, a recipe for rebound weight gain. And this is why. Because when you focus on the scale, and I know I say this every week, but you just got to hear this, it makes you think that is your value. Value as a person, and I know we could talk about that, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm saying that's have you been good? Are you making progress? That's not where to measure it. Measure it in here, your connection. Have you eaten when you're hungry? Yes, I believe I did that most of the time this week. I think Wednesday evening, I wasn't hungry anymore, and I did end up eating something. It wasn't that great, but I did eat it, and I learned from that, and I wrote it down in my workbook or my journal, and I said, remember, you really thought you really wanted that, and you had it, and it didn't make you feel good. As a matter of fact, it made you feel poorly, and then you felt guilty. So next time I'm in that situation, I'm going to say to myself, I'm not even hungry right now, so I can wait, and then just delay eating whatever's tempting you without hunger. If you're hungry, eat it. If you're not, whatever is it's a habit, or it's sitting on your counter and you're afraid it's going to go bad or whatever, just delay and see what happens. Always saying to yourself, let's say this is food, always saying to yourself, okay, this is mine. This is my food. It's going to be mine, whether it's sitting here or whether it's inside my body. I can have this. I'm just going to try to wait for my body to actually want this, not just my head or my habits. I'm just going to wait. And the power of that delay is like, just think about the power of delaying until hungry. Well, that means, there's more space in between eating perhaps, and there's more time for your body to burn off and then require more food. That's the beautiful simplicity of this. And it's very simple, guys. Eat hungry, not eat, delay. That's the diets are fattening message in a nutshell. I know you need strategies to do this, and that's why I'm here, because I did it myself, and again, I had some of my life I copied, so I'm just bringing that to you because it is so simple, but we've been tricked or sabotaged for years by a money-grubbing diet industry that makes us think you need help. You need help, and you're sick if you eat emotionally. That is the stupidest thing. Eating is a beautiful emotional experience, guys. It's a beautiful emotional yum. It's mothering yourself. Think what food is. It's your connection to your mom when you're little. It's really important, and it is totally emotional. And enjoy it, because emotions can be quite delightful, right? So we're going to bust through all those myths that you've heard your whole life and that have made you sad, and you don't need to be sad about this. So when you're hitting a plateau, first of all, I want to ask, how do you know that? Oh, because I'm weighing myself. Okay, please make a really strong commitment here. Last week we talked a lot about the scale. Either go back on YouTube and watch last week's again where we talk about that. Or if you have the book workbook, or write down what the scale does to you. And it's not that we're trying to free ourselves from the scale so we can just eat what, and just gain weight. That's not the answer. That's not what we're promoting here. We're promoting that the scale is making it harder for you. Because anytime you're up a pound or down 2, it changes how you feel. And we don't want the scale to change how you feel. We want your hunger to be your guide, not how you're feeling that day about the pound you gained or the 2 pounds you lost or whatever. Those are fake. Those are not reasonable. Those measurements are not reliable on that day-to-day basis. Over a year, if you got your weight and you wrote it down every day and you'd get a number that was meaningful. But from day to day, it's not meaningful. And this is someone who I used to weigh myself all the time. So think about that, okay? Think about what you're actually doing to yourself. So I don't want you to even know if you're hitting a plateau because it doesn't matter. The weight will go. You just have to stay connected to your eating and hunger and lack of hunger. That's really important, okay? It's really, really important. Let's see. I'm looking at these questions here. Hey, can we go over signs of hunger? Sure. Okay, let's do that right now. Hi, everyone. The signs of hunger are unique to you. How's that? In other words, when I first started doing this, I thought I knew when I was hungry, or actually I was worried I didn't know when I was hungry, but I thought I had some signals I knew. Turns out that, you know what? My eyes get hungry. My nose gets hungry. My mouth gets hungry. And I always heard people saying, oh, don't look in the refrigerator. And I think I said this last week, so hang in there if you're bored by that. But all your senses ignite for hunger. Think about that. Of course, Mother Nature didn't just make it in your stomach. Of course, you're out there on the Serengeti trying to, get some food in you. She's going to kick it in everywhere so that you're highly motivated. So what you do is you learn what yours feel like and you back into it. In other words, I don't know if I'm hungry right now. My stomach's growling, but is that hunger? Okay, eat a little bit of something. This is in the beginning when you're connecting. You won't have to do this all the time, I promise. But in the beginning, if you eat something and your taste buds go bang and you just feel, it feels so good, it's so delicious, then you were hungry. If you put food in your mouth and it feels almost like, you're putting it on your hand, it's like, okay, I feel it. It kind of feels nice, whatever. But I don't really feel sensations of like big gratitude from my body, like, wow, that's so good. Maybe not. But I hate to give too many rules because we're all very different. We're very similar, obviously, but we also have differences between us on how hunger feels based on, where you're from and your ancestors and all that stuff. So, again, in the workbook, there's places for you to do this detective work to figure out what your hunger feels like. Write it down. Say, journaling, I don't know if you hate doing that, fine, but it's helpful because it helps you remember your own wisdom. Like you write something down and then you read it a couple weeks later and you go, yeah, that's so smart. I was really picking up on something then. And you can do it on your computer, on your phone, write it down by hand if you like. I like by hand because I think that visceral feeling reinforces things even more, but who cares? That's maybe just because of my age. But younger people don't ever write. That's fine. Find out what works for you. And that's how you'll know. And discovering what hunger feels like it's really good. It's a great feeling. It really is. It's so nice to know that. So, okay, so let's go. So for the plateau question, I hope the basic answer is, who cares if you're hitting a plateau? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to go on a diet? Go ahead. You've been there, done that. That's why you're here. So instead of worrying about it and weighing yourself, just go, my body is amazing. And your body is amazing. Every single person out there, your body's amazing. All the things it does, okay? And you can do this too. When you stop freaking it out by throwing famine signals at it, your body will calm down and go, oh, wow, I guess life is good now. And I don't have to worry about hoarding food, meaning shrinking my metabolism and throwing out big hunger signals because I'm being fed on a regular basis whenever I put out a hunger signal. That's your body talking. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It really works. Okay, accountability and tracking. Okay, this was someone on our private page who was saying that she was not able to trust her craving, and she was very used to doing, I think it was Weight Watchers tracking and stuff. And yeah, listen, I was one of those too. A notebook, what I ate today, and counted it all up and felt all good. Put that, by my bed at night. On the days I was good and on the days I was bad, I would throw it across the room. Okay, that's taking away from what the wisdom here, and it's putting it over here by following some Weight Watchers complete money-making companies' advice to you. And they don't even call themselves Weight Watchers anymore, and I've said this before, they call it WW, because they know they can't even stomach calling their weight loss program Weight Watchers anymore, because if Weight Watchers worked, guys, with the millions, billions of people who've done it, I don't know if it's billion, but millions, hundreds of millions, where are all the thin people? They can't even sit around their boardroom table and reconcile with that. We better change our name, because this clearly doesn't work, because look. So if you love tracking your food and you find that a pleasant thing, okay, maybe, there are a very few people, and I know a couple of them, who are so rigid and who diet, and they feel they're thin, and they're dieting all the time, and they're happy there. Let them have it, guys. It's not worth it. And it's such a few percentage of the population who even does that. It's a very specific personality type, and there's no joy in that. It's not like, I think most people who want to be a thin, nice weight, they want to be, kind of joyful and sexy or whatever. It's nothing sexy about a dieter. They're boring, and they're rigid, and they're not joyful. They're regimented, and you don't want to be that way. You don't have to be that way. To get a body that doesn't match how you were built, in other words, to try to diet your way out of your body type by rigid food rules for the rest of your life, that is a trade-off you should not be willing to do. And again, it's so few people who can do it anyway, but still, if you're tempted, don't do it. It's just not, it's not fun. Okay, so if you're worried about accountability and tracking because you think you can't trust your craving, well, and this woman was at Weight Watchers a very long time. Well, they did a good job on you, didn't they, to make you feel that way. But I'm telling you, I'm looking you here. You can do it. You don't have to worry about writing it down. Listen. Are you hungry? Yes. Enjoy. Are you not hungry? Well, delay. You're going to eat again. You're going to eat again soon. And it's going to be amazing. Just delay. And it'll be so much better if you do that, right? So nighttime eating after you review what you ate in a day. This was a big one for me. And I've told this during my book. I remember being in my bed, writing down what I'd eaten in that day. And if I was on a, 1,200 calorie diet or whatever it was, and realizing, wow, I thought I'd hit 1,200, but I'd only hit 1,150. I'm going to go downstairs and eat something. See how back-asswards that is? And I did that. Or if I had eaten too much, I'd be like, oh, I feel really bad. No. And that was diet time. In between the diets, no holds barred. I would just eat because I was going to go on a diet again soon. And I know you've thought that way. So when at the end of the day, don't review what you ate. Don't do it. Just say, did I connect eating with hunger? Yeah, I did pretty much. Maybe that few bites there, maybe I really didn't need, and then you learn from that. And you go, my body didn't feel joyful. It wasn't delicious. It was okay. And it looked so pretty. Okay, food can look pretty. Food can smell amazing. But if you're not hungry, it's not relevant to you. It will be very soon. Just wait, okay? Getting freaked out when hunger doesn't come. Well, a lot of us have been freaked out by hunger in our diet lives, period. So it's reasonable that you'd be freaked out if it does come, freaked out if it doesn't come. I think this question was from somebody who was pretty new at this. Just relax. It'll come. Just relax. And when it does come, enjoy it fully. Now, if you're new and you may be missing your hunger signals because you so don't want to overeat, we're all different types here. People who are trying to bring a diet mentality to the healthy thin mentality part of this. Like, well, I'm really not going to eat until I'm just really hungry. Back into this. Maybe you are hungry and you just don't want to be because you just want to lose weight doing this so quickly. So make sure that if you think you might be hungry, and common signs that you've gone too far is you just kind of irritable, or you're weak, or you're lethargic. And sometimes that's just you need fluid, water. But learn about yourself. Again, I say this a lot, but I'm not leading you to my voice. I'm leading you to your voice, and only you can find it, not me. But once you have, you will be like, wow, where have you been? Why wasn't I listening to you all along? And you'll be like, well, because people were making a ton of dough off of you, whether you were a dieter or just bought, Slim Fast or what's new, Atkins or whatever the newfangled bars are. I don't even know anymore because I don't pay any attention. I only know the old stuff because that's what I used to pay attention to. But They're making money off keeping this message alive that you need to be told what, when, and how much to eat. And you do. Yeah, and you do not. Stressed out over processed foods. This is a kind of nutrition, right? When you are building your healthy thin mentality, and if you crave some highly processed piece of junk, go ahead and eat it. Who cares? It's just, you will get through this time. I know I say this all the time, so you guys who've been with me, you know what I'm talking about. I used to think that Twinkies were like my favorite thing. I loved them. No, I didn't. I just ate them because when I wasn't on a diet, I was going to eat anything that was bad so that I wouldn't have to worry about it when I was on a diet, because I just kind of took care of that for a while. I binged on it or whatever. But in reality, you couldn't pay me now to eat a Twinkie, even though they don't even make them anymore, I don't think. I would be like, if I'm going to eat something sweet, I'm going to have something really good. And I do that frequently. You know, I'm going to get like the ice cream that I love the most. Or for me, it's really, that's not my biggest pleasure. For me, it's more cake and cookies. I'm going to get something divine. I'm going to make it myself. It's going to be good. I'm not going to eat some Twinkie that's been on a shelf for a month or 5 months, however long they are. So if you just get through this beginning stages where you're, really drawn to things like that, you'll be fine. And the processed food in the interim is not going to do any more harm to you than going up and down, up and down, up and down with your weight, right? That's way worse for you. So let's get through this little initial stages where in my book I talk about that, I've always felt like I had a teenager inside of me, a little rebel, who as soon as the diet was over, I was going to eat anything and everything. And I didn't care if it was good or bad, That's gone, because once you stop suppressing the teenager, they grow up and they're like, no, I don't want to eat that junk. I want to take care of me. It's this, chocolate chip cookie made from really fabulous ingredients with wonderful chocolate. That's what I want. I don't want a processed Twinkie, or I want something completely different. I promise it does happen. I know you may not believe me, but I promise. I really do. It does happen. Will you lose weight if you match eating with hunger, or will you just stay the same weight? If you have a lot of weight to lose, yes, you will still lose weight. If you're really close to where you want to be weight-wise, what I've said to people, and I don't want, to advocate getting in some weird, super skinny, I'm here for advocating you getting a tall, lanky girl or guy, or were you kind of a little round, person? That's all good. And we love, all kinds of dog breeds. Let's all love ourselves. And by the way, dogs are fantastic. So, comparing us to dogs is not a diss in my mind at all. So if you don't love dogs, maybe you feel like it is. But I'm saying that we respect all the different sorts of breeds in wildlife, in animals and cats and horses and everything. Do the same for yourself. I wanted to be a big, tall, lanky Great Dane. Not going to happen. And maybe for you are tall and lanky. Good for you. Maybe that offers you some opportunities, that are great. But if you're not born that way, stop trying to get that way, because it's just a fight that you will lose. Your body is in charge of your body type, not you. And you can't diet your way taller. You can't diet your way into a body type that isn't appropriate for you. So, but as you get closer to where you really want to land, and you feel like weight loss is slowing or whatever, just keep going. Just keep matching eating with hunger. And if you just learn to ride that wave of hunger, and always ask yourself, this is after you're really comfortable with all this, like, I think I'm still hungry, but I'm just going to delay. I'm just going to wait. And you just learn to just, when your hunger comes, you just calm it down. You don't overload it, right? So you're riding along flat, right? Hunger comes, and just control it back down. Don't go full, right? Full is not a good feeling. That feeling is not good. So just think, I'm riding the wave. I'm hungry. I bring myself back to neutral. Just back to neutral. Back to the absence of hunger. Okay? That's where weight loss continues. If you always are answering hunger immediately and fully, weight loss will be slower. Yes. Especially when you're really close to where you want to be. So just use that beautiful tool of hunger. Like, I'm just going to wait. I'm not talking about going to bed hungry. I'm not talking about skipping meals. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just saying, a bite or two less is a lot, okay, over the period of a day or a week or a month. It's a lot of food. So eat what you love, eat what you enjoy, and just say, can I just leave this bite behind? I'm not sure. Try leaving it behind. And if later on you feel bad and you're hungry again, eat, right? Eat. Connect it. So those are our questions. And now I'm going to hit the workbook we've just got a few minutes left here because I'm trying to keep this to half an hour. This is page 24 in the workbook, week 1, exercise 4. As you begin to transition from diet mentality to healthy thin mentality, this is what you may be feeling. Desperate and wanting to dig in to get this done fast. 2, like you need to beat yourself up for being overweight in the first place. 3, that you're going to have the best healthy thin mentality ever, or that you just can't believe that you'll be able to eat whatever you want and lose weight. 5, that people will criticize what you eat when they see you. Okay, so I'm going to go through these things really quickly. Well, not really quickly. We'll do. Desperate and wanting to dig in fast. Okay, that's on the bottom of page 24. That's a diet mentality feeling, right? We're taking this slow. We're simply saying, we've been dieters for a long time, and now we're going to calmly move to healthy thin mentality. Period. That's it. And we don't have to worry about speed. This is permanence. This is a long-term view of your life. So I understand why your weight may bother you when you want to get this done quickly. But when you feel desperate because of your weight or because you want to get it done quickly, let's agree that you're not desperate, but that you are sick of being heavy, sick of dieting only to regain weight, tired of skipping events so you don't overeat, tired of wanting to go swimming but not wanting to be seen in your bathing suit, tired of feeling like you aren't your best self. These are all things that are part of your diet mentality. So write down, bottom 25, write down some things that you would like to eat but never do. Now just hold on to that list, and later on we'll look back at that and you'll see that you can't believe that you can do all these things that you thought were taboo. It's just that when you eat healthy food or non-healthy food, when you're not hungry, it's all fattening, guys. So instead of having this good food, bad food, and I'm good, I'm bad, or I'm doing this really fast and good, or I'm doing this poorly, that just goes away. You calmly, are you matching up eating and hunger? That is your whole guide. That's all you need. It really is. So then you go into, you need to beat yourself up for being overweight in the first place. Okay, just go back to chapter 1 and read how many diet messages you saw in your life and how many people told you the way to lose weight and be thin was to diet. When no, the way to be thin is to behave thin. The way to be a dieter is to diet, and everyone got those two confused, and they're completely different. Of course you think that. Of course you experienced weight gain from that, right? Because you're part of this food culture, and that's what's happening to everybody, just about. That you're going to have the best thin mentality ever, and you're going to follow every rule. But here, you're not following rules. You're following your voice. You're finding your path. This is not about rules. This is about respect for your hunger and lack of hunger. It's so completely different. And everything else falls in place when you put that in line, okay? That you just can't believe you'll be able to eat whatever you want and lose weight. When you eat what you crave, when you're hungry, you will lose weight, period. Because that's matching eating with hunger, and that's where your body gets calm over time and goes, okay, your metabolism normalizes, you come out of that diet fog where food is good or bad, and I don't know how much to eat, and wow, I went to bed hungry last night, so maybe I should get up and eat a big breakfast because I didn't. No, your hunger will find you. Don't worry about it. And when you calm down and you just use that as your guide, everything changes for the better. That people will criticize you when they see what you eat. Yep, they might, especially members of your family, especially if you're heavier. Yeah, that's tough. You know what? Come be part of our group where you can get support for that, because, people may see if you're heavier and you're eating French fries and a fried chicken sandwich, and they don't notice that you're not eating the whole thing, but you're enjoying it immensely, and you're not shoving it down with a big Diet Coke, which is poison. All those diet drinks, guys, get them out of your life. We'll talk about that another time. But that you're eating, joyfully the food your body's craving. In the beginning, you're taking it a little bit slow so your body has a chance to talk to you, and you're going, this is exactly what I wanted. It feels so good. No, I'm not going to finish all this, but you know what? It's still mine, and I'm going to take it home with me. And as soon as I'm hungry, I'm going to enjoy this again, or I'm going to share it with someone else I live with, and I'm going to eat something else completely different because my body isn't craving that anymore. It's craving strawberries or whatever the heck it is, or cake. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm saying high-calorie foods in there, fried chicken sandwich and French fries and cake, because I want you not to be afraid of those. When you eat with hunger, they aren't fattening. Everything is fattening when you're not hungry. Everything. Nothing is fattening when you are. The higher calorie foods, denser, which I don't want you to think about, but as a tool in the beginning, you need less bites of it to satiate hunger, right? To satisfy hunger because it's more calorie dense. So just take your time. Check in a little bit more often. We have our necklace that has a little, our lip balm necklace that I created for our group. I have a lip balm necklace company, but this one says, stay in the moment, the little charm on it. And that's just you might find it helpful, or however you want a little trick to help you. You're there, you're eating, and you go, I'm just going to slow down here a little. Put a little lip balm on, read this, stay in the moment, and I'm just going to slow down here, right? So that's the kind of thing that helps you, these little strategies. If you just Google lip balm necklace, you'll find me because I'm the only one who has these. But and use our code is DAF, D-A-F, and you'll get 20% off. Okay, but those are the kinds of things you need to do to train yourself out of a diet mentality into a healthy, thin mentality. Maybe for you, it's at the beginning of a meal, you say, I'm going to check in with my hunger every 4 bites, 3 bites. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you stay connected with that hunger. I'm a really quick eater, and I continue to be. In the beginning, I was still pretty quick, but I remember conscientiously, back then I had regular lip balm. I remember using that, and that's why with my book I've always given lip balm out, like for, I don't know, 8 years, because it was my way to say, okay, I'm eating, all right, yeah, I think I could be done. Oh, I'm sad. No, because I'll keep it. I'm not gonna throw it out. I'm not gonna give it away. I'm gonna keep it for me if I want it. And that feeling that's a very powerful feeling where you're just saying, hey, it's mine, whether it's here or in here. It's mine, and I will have it when I'm ready for it, period. All right, I hope this is helpful, guys. Let me know. The best thing you could do for me is to like, share, or subscribe this channel, because that's how I get more views and get more people aware. We moved to Mondays because Tuesdays, I got a lot of people asking me to go back to Mondays, where it's just where we were when we were on Facebook. So anyway, great to be here again. Let me just real quick go back, see if there was any more. Okay, can you save hunger for later? For example, you crave ice cream but can only get it an hour after dinner. Yeah, you can save hunger for an hour. Yeah, you can. But, funny, if you're craving ice cream and your hunger is not quite bright enough to eat it, what you find is that if you're really hungry, something else is going to take the place of that, and you're going to love that too, because hunger is the best sauce, right? But yeah, you can use your hunger. You can delay a little bit, an hour. That's cool. But if you get that hangry feeling, you've gone too long. You will learn all about this. You will learn about this as you are developing your healthy thin mentality. All right. Thanks again for being here, and I will be back next week. And come check us out on Facebook or dietsorfattening.com. Thanks, guys.